In general, in a graphical user interface, there are areas that are fixed that cannot be sizable. But sometimes when we add widgets to a frame, for example, the frame will resize itself to adapt to this widget. So what we do, we fix the size of that frame. The problem is the widgets will not be visible anymore. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix this problem. The goal is to create a frame with 10 buttons. First, we are creating the window, setting the title, configuring the background, the geometry, adding a label to explain what's going on, then adding the frame. It has a specific width, specific height, a background. We pack it. Right now, we are not adding any button. So this is the original size of our frame. Now we are going to add the buttons. We are going to use a for loop for that. So we are adding a button one after the other. They have this font settings, a width, foreground, background, the label, simple button and the number of the button, and we pack the button to that frame. We run the code again. We have our 10 buttons. You can see that the size of the frame changed. We do not want that. We want to keep our frame or the size of our frame fixed. So to keep the size of our frame fixed, adding expand equal to false is not enough. So I have to add this call after creating the frame. I'm going to call pack propagate false, then run the code again. You can see here that we have our original size, the size we set for our frame, but the buttons are not all visible. We have only here 8 buttons. We need to have 10. The solution that you may think of is to add a scroll bar. You create the scroll bar and then set its command to the frame.yView. So if you run the code, it will tell you this. The frame object has no attribute yView. So this is why we are going to use a canvas with another frame to have our buttons. This is how we are going to do it. First, we are going to create a canvas. So here, after creating the frame, I'm creating my canvas that will belong to that frame. Then we will create the scroll bar that will also be added to the frame, our frame, but will be associated to the canvas. We will configure our canvas scroll command or y scroll command to the scroll bar set method. We will pack our widgets. Our canvas and scroll bar belong to the frame, to our main frame. Now we are going to create another frame, an inner frame, that will actually belong to the canvas. Now we are going to do two things with that inner frame. First, we are going to change or bind its configure method to a custom one. That function, in our case on frame configure, will simply call the canvas configure method with the parameters scroll region set to canvas.pbox with the parameter all. The second thing is to add that frame or inner frame to the canvas by calling the create window method of the canvas and setting the attribute window to that inner frame. The last thing, we are going to change our loop that added the buttons. And when we create the buttons, instead of adding them to the main frame, we are going to add them to the inner frame that we just created. Now we are going to run our code. You can see here our frame with the scroll bar, with its fixed size and with the 10 buttons. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.